2007 would it be correct to describe it as a tough year for you? You lost your mum?
It was a very traumatic period because my mum took a stroke roughly about a year before, and she was always a very healthy person. She was probably the person that kept the family together, because no matter what arguments there were, whatever in-house fightings there were, she was always the person that reconnected everybody. And she died in 2007, even though she had been ill, it was still traumatic. We'd never experienced anything like that in our family before. It was just a very emotional time for everybody, and again, it brought the family together. So there's she did it again, even through her passing. Then roughly I'd left with Matthew around 10 o'clock in the morning, and at 10:30 in the morning, I got a phone call from my brother, Raymond, to say, you need to come to the hospital, that Mum was taking a turn for the worse. I remember actually sitting down on the sofa beside Matthew, and like, Matthew had never seen me cry before, and you don't want your child to see you cry. But I remember turning to Matthew and going, Matthew, I think I'm about to lose my mum. And I remember getting very emotional and had to sort of take a deep breath, because Matthew sort of looked at me and he was smiling as well. He was sort of like, I don't recognise my dad with this emotion. And that day I had to leave Matthew back with his mum, and made my way over to the hospital. When I got there, my brother was outside and just told me the bad news that she had passed away. So that was the saddest thing, was that I never got to say goodbye. Probably will be my biggest regret ever, the fact that I never got the chance to say goodbye. I said I wanted to write a song, and I never told anybody. I said to myself I wanted to write a song. I wanted to reflect what she meant to me as a person, and tried to write it for a long time. A month later, after she passed away, I tried to write a song, wrote down words, wrote down melodies and stuff like that, and I just it just couldn't happen. It just wasn't going to happen. And
why wasn't it happening at that point? Why couldn't you just get everything to?
I didn't feel that what I was trying to write was doing her justice. And sometimes when you write about something, it'll just happen. It just happen. And you sometimes you'll sit down and you'll think, I'm going to write a song here, and you've got the subject, and it'll just happen. And sometimes you get maybe overwhelmed by the sadness, or maybe overwhelmed by the subject, and you get carried away, and then you do things too much. And so about 2 years later, around 2009, again, Sunday night, end of the weekend, lights down. I didn't even intend to write this, and picked up the guitar, and I think my fingers just moved to like a D position, and I started picking, and all I could hear was in the back of my head was I think it was something like Maggie. It was like, I don't know, it was like, but this melody came in, and I started to think about what my mum did when I was a child, and I took it from that perspective. Like, the whole first verse it talks about a recurring nightmare that I used to have, and I used to wake up screaming, and I remember one occasion especially that I was woken up, I was frantic, and she came into the room and basically had this little thing that she would just stroke my face, and until she calmed me. Even though she waited until I was calm, didn't necessarily wait until I was asleep. But then she would just gently walk out of the room, and you knew she was out of the room, but she just created that calmness that a mother, only a mother can do. And the rest of the song was like, it just followed after that. There's a verse in the song, second verse, very, very true story, and I'm not a believer in anything supernatural, no belief in that at all. But I'd been away in Spain with Matthew when we came back.
This is your son Matthew, yeah?
Yeah, and the night before my mum died, it was she died on a Saturday, and the Friday night, I'd only been home from holiday a couple of days. Maybe it was just the alcohol wearing off, I don't know, but I had a dream that night, and I'd planned to go and see my mum on Saturday, because we only got back maybe like on the Tuesday or Wednesday, and I'd been at work and stuff, so my plan was to go and see her on the Saturday, and maybe that was unconsciously in my mind, but I had this dream that, cause my mum, because she had a stroke, her speech was impaired, her movement was impaired. In the dream, there was my mum walking towards me, and she was showing me that she was alright. And she was like basically moving her hands, her legs, and she was like an active woman, like the way that she was before her stroke. And all I could hear her saying was, I'm fine, look, I'm great. And the next day she died.
As I close my eyes, I know you're always there. There will be sunshine